Now, let's talk about bending your knee. This shows up in so many different moments, like sitting down, kneeling, climbing stairs, or just getting out of the car. And when bending hurts, it turns everyday movements into constant reminders that something is off. When you bend your kneecap starts to shift downward, which starts to press against that groove in your thigh bone. That's normal. But as the bend gets deeper, the pressure behind the kneecap starts to increase. And if there's inflammation or degeneration in that area on the joint, it starts to feel like things are grinding or they're starting to catch. Often it's because the muscles that help guide the kneecap, like your quads, they're either too tight, too weak, or they're imbalanced. That throws off how the kneecap tracks into that groove on your thigh bone. Instead of gliding, it drifts slightly to one side or it presses on the other more than it should. And if you've had a meniscus tear, even a small one, that soft cartilage can start to get pinched or even folded during a deep bend. That's when you might feel a sudden sharp pain like something is catching inside the joint. Picture a door, if you will, that's slightly warped from humidity. It still works, but it starts to rub and it starts to drag and it starts to catch, especially at the end. That's what your knee can start to feel like when the mechanics aren't right when you're bending at the end. Every time you squat or go down the stairs, you have to brace for that moment where it's going to grab or it's going to ache. And to make matters worse, people often stop bending the knee altogether in order to avoid the pain, but that's only going to lead to more stiffness, more weakness, and even more imbalance in that area. Our goal isn't to force the knee to bend, it's to help it to move the way it's meant to. That means reducing the pressure that's built up around inside the knee, calming the inflammation that's irritating the joint, and reactivating that muscle control that the kneecap needs in order to support itself through that full range of motion. And over time, you're going to feel more freedom, like your knee is actually cooperating again, instead of fighting against you every single time you bend it.